And welcome. David Levin here, Raise Your Inner Game today. Apologies for my scruffiness and my scratchy throat. I got a bit of a cold or something, but I wanted to get this out while it was fresh, so I just dragged myself out of my recovery bed. That's funny. And just wanted to get this going. So anyway, this is Tuesday. So we're talking mental game on the field, playing sports. Friday is mental game off the field. Today I want to talk about a great new tennis star, Mirra Andreeva. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Mirra Andreeva. She's new to me anyway, 16 years old, making big news in the Australian Open this week. I read an article in The Athletic about her and her win in the third round. She lost in the fourth round, but just to give you an idea, the title of the article was One Teenage Tennis Miracle After Another. So you can tell the buzz on her right now. And it makes sense. I mean, she's doing great things. Again, 16 years old. In the second round, she beat Ons Jabeur, one of the top players in the world. She was the sixth seed. In the third round, came from behind for a super gutsy win. So incredible promise. Sort of came out of nowhere. Great future. It's an exciting story. But it's also a story we've heard before, right? Brilliant young player, destined for great things. But too often, they end up not reaching their potential. I'm not predicting that for her, of course. I hope she's super successful, but it's always a possibility because this happened so many times before. And I will say there were a few things in the article that gave me concerns about her mental game going forward. And that's the risk with all the upcoming players. There are two things that keep a player from reaching their potential: injuries and their mental game. And the mental game issues tend to show up later as they climb in the rankings. At first, when they're coming up, they're the underdog, expectations are low, they can just come in, stay loose, play their game, have fun, and it's relatively simple and straightforward. But as they have more success, the pressure gets more and more intense. And once they have a big win, it's all pressure. They're now expected to win every time. It's just a completely different experience, and it takes a next level mental game to keep doing what got them there. Stay loose, play their game, have fun. So here's what concerned me in the article about Mirra's mental game going forward. She said a few things in the interview. When she was down match point, she said, I rushed to the net and I thought, am I crazy? I'm going to the net on match point. It worked out, by the way. Later, she'd given up 2 points. She said her inner voice told her, God, okay, that's it, meaning I'm going to lose. Near the end, after she'd come back, she said, it was like, okay, 6-all. I don't think that's it. And then she added, I knew I would win. I just had to do everything for it. So that's what got my attention. It was all the thoughts going on in her head. So do any of those thoughts raise red flags for you? I imagine they don't. They all sound normal and reasonable in the situation. But here's why they're flags for me. Even when thoughts are reasonable, they still pull us into our head. By definition, that's where we think thoughts, right? And being in your head is the number one killer of peak performance. And the more pressure there is, the more things there are trying to pull you off into your head. So if I were her mental game coach, I would have her work on learning to quiet her thoughts in pressure moments, to shut down all that mental noise, the thoughts, the emotions, and just be totally present and focused. And especially with her being so young. Being a teenager is hard enough already, I'm sure you remember. But pressure like this and the public attention is just not a normal life at any age, let alone on top of normal teenage stuff. So that's what I would focus on with her: attention control and emotional self-regulation, especially when the pressure is on. The good news is it's not that hard to learn. That's what we teach in the academy. If she does learn it, it'll set her up to continue to play at her full potential, no matter how much pressure there is. If she doesn't learn to control her thoughts and emotions, it's going to be a lot harder road, a lot less certain how things turn out. So how does all this apply to you? Basically, if you are progressing with your game or you want to progress, first, know that it doesn't get more fun on its own. The higher up you go, the pressure continues to increase. So if you want to keep having fun and playing your best, which of course you do, you need to raise your mental game along with it. If you've taken our training already, you can just bear down with what you've learned as the pressure increases. Also consider taking our advanced mental game mastery course. That's designed to take things to the next level. If you haven't taken our training yet, This would be a great reason. It's specifically designed to help overcome pressure and other kinds of mental game issues to help you stay out of your head and fully focused and present no matter what's going on around you. You can learn about it all on our site, of course. Otherwise, that's what I wanted to talk about today. Mental game lessons, Mirra Andreeva. I hope that was helpful. And I hope she does continue to do well. I'll be watching, seeing how she handles things as she continues in the spotlight, and wishing her great success. All right, that's today's show. If you are a player and want to boost your mental game, or you have kids in sports and want to help them with theirs, check out our programs at raiseyourinnergame.com. U13, U18, 18 and up. There's something for every player at every level. If you like what you heard on today's show, please do tell your friends. Invite them to join us and rate and review the show on Apple Podcasts. It helps people find us and get the mental game charge we all need. If you'd like to support the show so we can keep things ad-free, please click the Buy Me a Coffee link below, and thank you for that. Also, if you're listening to the audio podcast and you like video, we post all our episodes on YouTube as well. There's a link to that in the show notes. And finally, we will close, as we always do, with Steve Prefontaine and his quote from the end of the Raise Your Inner Game book. To give anything less than your best is to sacrifice your gift. That's what we're doing. We're going to be our best, help our kids be their best, both on the field and off. So keep up the good work, and we'll see you next time.